Hello, here is my calculator I've created. First of all, I'm going to explain that I included several libraries, math library and standard library here. And I included also IOStream for input and output, and I defined P to calculate sinus, cosinus, and tangents. Further down, I created, it was created for me, the main function, which is going to run the program. I used namespace standard. Afterwards, I created several variables, long double, two long doubles and two integers also. Long doubles are A and B with identifier A and B, and integers with identifier C and D. Also, I created a character and integer selection. Further down, it's a little bit messy in the for loop, especially at the beginning, because I tried to style the calculator, and I did it for the first time. So, but it looks like this. Let me relaunch the program. Yes, it looks like this. Welcome to the calculator program, and the options that you have, or you can see here, the options are actually here, option 1 and option 2 and 3 and so on until 11 and then 0. The tabs, they are used to make the table actually, but I use them to create more space between the numbers here. And as well, as I mentioned before, I used IOStream for input-output, so it would be easier to write. And here we are going for a for loop. I created indefinite for loop so that the program all the time runs how many times you want to, and you can choose those number of options indefinite time. Further down, I used the switch as it was in the task, because for the first you can as well use if-else statements, but switches are actually more structurable, I think, and you don't have all those curly brackets when you write if-else statements. So there are several cases according to the menu here. And the first case is when we have to add two numbers, and the formula for adding two numbers is here. And of course, when I made C output, that means that it's just a sentence for the users. For example, if we are choosing the first option, then the program says enter the first number to add, and that actually corresponds to this one, C out. And now to input the number from the keyboard, I had to use C in. So now I can make the number, write the number, for example 2, and then comes the second number which I have to put in. It's actually C in B, it's number B, so let's make it 2 as well. And the answer is 4. And here it comes as C output. And here it's again, it's only for styling. It's nothing that should be in the program. And break is actually very important for the switch cases, because if the break wouldn't be here, then the program would run indefinite times. So here we come to case number 2. and it's subtraction. It actually works the same as addition, but with a minus. So let's try it. Yes, and by the way, the program asks me if I would like to calculate again, yes or no. I will explain it later as it stands later in the program. So let's say yes for the moment, and let's choose case number 2, option number 2, and let's insert some numbers, and you can see it's working. For multiplication, it's case number 3, and it's the same. C output is asking for number, C input asking to put in the number, and again the second number that I want to multiply, and I have to insert the number from the keyboard, and the formula is here. So let's see if it's working. 3, 5, and then the second 4, and the answer is 30. That is correct. So the fourth case is the case of division. And here is again the number for input, and the cout the cout statement for the output, and the first number for input is I, and the second number is going to be B here for input. But there's a problem, because if somebody doesn't know that you cannot divide with 0, then I made a little if else statement here, and it says if B is not 0, then the answer is going to be A divided by B. If else, it's another if condition is true. That means that if B equals to 0, but it's not the value of 0, it's only the equality operator here when we have double equal sign, then the program would say that your answer doesn't exist, as you may not divide by 0. And again, we break out of this case 4. So let's try it. Let's choose number 4, and let's take the first number 6 and divide it with 3. Then we'll get 2, and then once again 4. The fourth option, let's take 9 and divide by 0, and the program says your answer doesn't exist, as you may not divide by 0, which corresponds to C output here. So case number 5, it will be to calculate the remainder, and this we are going to do with the help of modulo sign. We again input the number C here, and the second number is here, and and the C output will be, your answer is C modulo D. Let's try it here. Yes, 5, 4, 2, and of course it will be 0. Let's take 6 and 5, and it should give 1. Oh, sorry. I choose option number 6 instead of 5. Let's try again 5, and then the first number of calculator 6, and then the second would be 5, and the answer is 1, as it should be, because there's only 1 times 5 in a 6.